Wellness Wednesday, LifeWave technology explanation, plus hearing some fantastic testimonials tonight. You're going to love what these ladies have to share with you. But before they do, I want to make a couple announcements. First of all, we are letting guests in for the next 5 minutes or 4 minutes now. So at 8:05, it will be cut off. So if you are a brand partner, please make sure you text your guest. Make sure you get them on here. They have to be present to win. I've got my beautiful co-host, Leah and Laura, who are monitoring our waiting room to make sure that everyone is here. And of course, know that we will be doing the drawing at the end, and you must be present to win in order to be a part of the giveaway. So with that being said, as I mentioned, Dr. Stacy, not a medical doctor. I have a PhD in integrative medicine, a PhD in functional medicine. I am not here to make any claims to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent anything. If you have any questions in regards to your health, please check with your healthcare practitioner if you're on medications, pregnant nursing, or a child. With that being said, let's dive right in because I want to get right to these testimonials. I can't wait to hear some new and some old. So this is what our technology looks like. I know it looks like a little round Band-Aid. It's sticky on one side, it's smooth on the other. This is a non-transdermal patch. And what that means is when I put this on my skin, there is nothing that is entering my body. No medicine, no chemical, no herb, no nutrient. This is not like your pain patch or your nicotine patch or birth control or hormone patch, weight loss patch. This is a wearable light technology. I'm sure you're familiar with light therapy. Everyone is nowadays. Red light therapy devices for your face, collagen, elastin, red light therapy pads to get rid of pain and inflammation. You're familiar with lasers, red, blue, cold lasers, infrared saunas, of course, the sun. We know that light creates change in the body. We don't see or feel the light entering our face when we put on that mask, but it is increasing collagen, elastin. Different wavelengths of light do different things in the body. Well, with our wearable light technology, you don't need a pad or a mask or a sauna or the sun. Your body's own heat or light, we're emitting a low-level infrared light, that is what is powering this patch. That is what is interacting with this patch to make happen what I'm getting ready to share with you. So again, we have a non-transdermal patch. It's a phototherapy technology that you put on in the morning when you wake up. Again, you don't see or feel anything happening, but immediately a wavelength of light is reflected back into your body. Inside of that white part, there is a reflective lattice. That is what our inventor, David Schmidt, has invented. This is a patented technology. You won't get this anywhere besides through the person that invited you here to hear more about this with LifeWave. So know that this is safe. This is non-invasive. There are no contraindications with this technology. There's no interactions or adverse effects. We have to report this in our clinical studies. And we do have over 90 clinical studies, many of which are double-blind, placebo-controlled. And the person that invited you will definitely give you access to those if you're interested in looking into them. So when I put this on in the morning when I get up, I'm going to leave it on for 12 hours. Again, I'm not seeing or feel anything happening, but I know that change is occurring in the body. That's the way light therapy works. So what is the change that's happening with our patch? Well, for time purposes, I'm going to talk to you about the X39. This is our flagship patch. This has been on the market now for a little over 6 years. David spent 10 years in the lab at a stem cell institute in Ireland trying to figure out how to elevate the peptide that I'm going to share with you, that this patch elevates, and how to activate our own stem cells with a patch. He acquired 70 patents in the process of trying to figure this out over the 10-year period of time. So no small feat, and he wasn't giving up. And the reason why he wasn't giving up is because of how powerful this technology is. This patch elevates the peptide GHKCU copper peptide. Now, if you're in the peptide world, you've heard of this. This is the fountain of youth. GHK is the holy grail of healing when you understand what it does. It's the superhero of all peptides. It is a reverse aging peptide, literally. It's one that you had an abundance of when you were young. That's why you were healthy and your skin was young and youthful and you had boundless energy and you slept amazing, right? And your brain was on fire. As you age, that peptide declines. It's just part of it. Peptides are just chains of proteins, amino acids. They do that. And so that's part of the degeneration process. Well, when you put the patch on, you immediately elevate GHK in the blood. That's what our patent states. We elevate GHK in the blood. Well, GHK is a gene modulator, which means it's going to upregulate or reset over 4,000 of your genes back to their young, healthy, youthful state, just like that. And so what happens from there is it actually wakes up your dormant stem cells. You had an abundance of stem cells when you were young, and as you have aged, your stem cells have declined. By the time you're in your 30s, about half are still active, and by the time in your 60s, there's less than 10%. And so our body's degeneration process or aging process is kicking in. Throw in a little stress, some lifestyle choices, accidents, injuries, surgeries, and we have a body that's out of balance. So what this technology does is you leave this on 12 hours. It starts that process of waking up those dormant stem cells, getting that peptide active in your body, and your body starts the repairing process. Now, there's 3 frequently asked questions that people ask me. If you do have a specific question, not about a disease, but if you have a specific question, maybe a symptom, something like that, drop it in the chat. I'm going to see if I have time at the end. We definitely want to do our drawing after you hear from these incredible testimonials, but we will have a little bit of time for Q&A at the end, but drop that question in the chat. And I'll look through and try to answer as best as I can, as many as I can. But know that the top 3 frequently asked questions. People want to know, well, I'll say this first. They want to know how long do I have to wear this, right? Always. We recommend at least a month for every decade you are old to get all those dormant stem cells woke up. It doesn't mean all your issues are going to go away in that time frame. Maybe they will. Maybe it'll take a little bit longer. We're all different. But I can tell you this, question number 1 people ask me is, will this work for? And they list off their grocery list of issues, conditions, symptoms, diagnoses, diseases, all the things. So I can tell you from A to Z, 100%, 5 years using this technology, A to Z, whatever it is, the answer is yes. This will work for whatever you have. I promise you that. We have literally a database of over 6,000 recorded testimonials. So if you want to hear from other people and what their experience are outside of the 2 ladies you're going to hear from tonight, the person that invited you here can definitely get you any testimonial you want to hear. And again, you can look at the clinical studies. Question number 2 people ask me is, how long will it take before I get results? I have no idea. We are all completely different. Your body's different, physically, mentally, emotionally, everyone is. So we do know, based on clinical studies, that about 80% of the people will see and feel changes in about 3 to 6 weeks, okay? Pain reduction, better quality sleep, more mental energy, focus, clarity, concentration, physical energy, faster wound healing. And we know the compound effect after that 6-week mark, that 3-month mark, that 6-month mark, that 12-month, 18-month mark is exponential for people as these peptides are active and your stem cells are going all over your body repairing things. So I can't give you a time frame, but I'll tell you it will never work if you leave it in the package. And you will never get results if you don't put it on your body. The key is to get up in the morning, put it on, leave it on 12 hours, take it off, throw it away, or put it on a pet, and get up the next morning and do it again. The last question people ask me is, where do I place the patch for? And then they'll list their issue. Well, I can tell you this, it has to go on the body. It will not work if you don't put it on the body, but it will work if you put it on. Where you put it, I do not care. If you have a place that hurts, put it there. But I can tell you this, people get changes in their vision on a regular basis, reducing glasses, reducing prescriptions. No one has patched their eyeballs to date. We have people that have gum improvements, teeth improvements, periodontal improvements. No one has stuck the patch inside of their mouth and patched their teeth or their gums. So know that no matter what, when you put this on, we're elevating the peptide systemically. We are activating our stem cells systemically, meaning throughout the whole body. And the body is smart. It knows how to heal itself. Your job is to put it on, stay hydrated, stay consistent, and watch the changes happen over time. The person that invited you here will give you a health tracker so you can keep track of your progress for the first 90 days at least while you are getting used to wearing this technology and staying hydrated. So with that being said, I want to bring Sherry on here with me. And Sherry, if you can unmute, Sherry is our first guest, and she is going to share with us her son Eli's testimonial, and she's been patching about 3 years. So if you want to hear Sherry's personal testimonial, join me again next Wednesday as we kick off our Heart Healthy Month, and she's going to be sharing her personal testimonial. But Sherry, could you talk to us about your son Eli and what you've experienced with his results?
Yes, absolutely. I started this technology because my son was born very rare with a very rare disorder, and with complications. When he was an infant, he died. He coded, and they brought him back to life, but they didn't give me much hope with him being able to walk or talk. And with a lot of intervention with OT, PT, speech, holistic care, different medications, we saw improvement, but only about mentally 4 years old. And he was stuck at 4 years old for 7 years. He started having seizures at 7 years old. He had a grand mal seizure. Then those turned into more like a vocal seizure. He had 15 cluster seizures a day, sometimes more. His fine motor skills just weren't developing. He couldn't use or grip with his fingers. So playing sports, like he loved t-ball, but the bat had to be super light because he couldn't grip it. Making his own breakfast, showering himself, getting dressed. All these things did not come easy for him. So I was his total caregiver from sunup to sundown because he just couldn't remember how to do basic instructions. If I had to tell him something, it would have to be one-step instruction and then go do it with him or for him. So the day was long and very daunting. And he actually started getting very heavy for me. And so I couldn't lift him anymore to change his diapers because he was still going through about 50 diapers a week, sorry. And I didn't know how I was going to change him going out in public, or let alone just going to a quick grocery trip or something. So we came up with a traveling changing table, and we got that patent last year and getting that on the market hopefully by March. But I was starting to speak at different events, and I met a lady named Susan from our Christian radio station here in Grand Rapids, and she mentioned this light therapy technology, and I just knew in my gut God was leading me to talk to her. Even though I was spent that night, my anxiety was through the roof. I did not want to talk to one more person, but that feeling just didn't go away. We talked with her and Dr. Don, and we ordered the very next day because I just knew this is what God wanted us to try, because we've tried so many different modalities and nothing was getting him to where we wanted him to be. And within the first 24 hours of putting the patch on the X39 and Eon, that's what we started with, the best way to describe it is his brain woke up. His communication and his fine motor skills just started to work. Within 5 days, he went from 50 diapers down to 5. And I could not believe it, because Dr. Don said, in 5 days, you're going to sell this with me. And I said, in 5 days, I'm going to tell you crazy because I'm busy. There's just no way, because I didn't believe that I would see results that quickly, because I didn't think anything would work, because we've tried so many things. Within 6 months, he was seizure-free, med-free, no OT, PT, speech. They signed him off on everything. He plays on a special needs league, and now he doesn't have to hit off a tee. He hits from his coach almost every single time, and has gone up in weight in his bat like 3 pounds. And he makes his own breakfast. He showers himself now. The last 2 years, he's been able to go to a special needs camp with full support still, But he can tell them, no, I can't eat that. Before, I couldn't send him anywhere because if you feed him the wrong thing, he dies. It does not have allergic reaction. It builds in his system and he codes. Like, that's what happened when he was a baby. So I could never send him to do any of these things like a normal kid, or even let him climb a tree because I was afraid he was going to have a seizure. Now he is living life like a kid should, and climbing trees, riding his little motorcycle outside, going to camp, playing baseball, playing soccer. His best thing that he loves to say is he gets to ride a bike without training wheels. That could never have happened before because his balance was not there, because who knows when he'd have a seizure next. And so this technology has changed everything for Eli. Most days now, he gets up, he showers himself, he gets dressed, he makes his breakfast. This is just in the last like 3 months. I don't even tell him what day of the week it is. He knows, because at different days he wears different patches. He's like, oh, today is Wednesday. I know I wear these 3 patches today. And I used to have to tell him, and I don't anymore. And the next big thing that has happened in the last couple weeks is he's been clean and dry at night 5 days this past week. Wow. He's never been able to do that before because his brain was not talking to his body. It's just waking up. The longer we use this, the more I see his brain just thriving. It's incredible.
Wow. And if it's going to do that for Eli, what would it do for someone else? I mean, from one special needs mom to another, makes my heart so happy. If nothing else, girl, I found this technology so you could have this life with your child. Thank you so
Amen.
much. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here tonight and to share your testimonial. It is
Thank you.
So powerful. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. We look forward to hearing from you next week as well, girl. All right, so let's get Amy up here. Amy, tell us a little bit about yourself. And you've been patching for 2 years now, correct? And tell us what your experience is.
Yeah, so my name's Amy. I'm from a little town in Pennsylvania, and I'm an occupational therapist, since you heard Sherry talk about that. I'm also a health and wellness coach, and I have 2 young boys. So just with that, my lifestyle's very busy. We're on the go all the time. I love moving and leading women through faith-based workouts. So back in March 2024, all of a sudden I went from a very healthy individual to my blood pressure dropping to 90 and 80, over 50 and 60s was my bottom number consistently. So just knowing that, I was hardly able to stay on my feet. I was getting dizzy all the time, wanting to pass out. I did pass out before at work. So that's a non-negotiable. You can't really do that when you're working with peds and you're trying to take care of them and help them. You have to be well yourself. So I knew something was going on, and my PT friend, she encouraged me, like, go to the doctor, because I did not want to go to the doctor. You know, I'd fix it. I'm young, healthy. It will fix itself. But symptoms got worse. My heart felt like it was speeding. I could no longer lead my workouts the way I like to do. I would have to kind of stand and just, you know, give them motivation, encouragement, and have them do the work. And that's not me. So fast forward, I started going to my doctor, who then led me to a cardiologist. I went through a lot of different tests, scans, MRIs, and through all of those, we found that my valves were not working properly. There was a malfunction in them, and my right lobe was enlarged, which is very uncommon for someone. I was 40 at the time. That's for a woman, 40, that's unheard of. So he was like, I'm not sure what we're looking at, what we're going to do, but I'm going to send you to yet another specialist. So in between all this, I was like, well, I might as well go to a chiropractor too, because I'm hurting, I'm in pain. Maybe that will fix my blood pressure. I was just grasping at straws at this point. So I went to another specialist who ran more tests, and they were like, we're going to have you have surgery. That's just the bottom line. So prepare yourself in February of 2024 or 2025, surgery. We don't know what the outcome is going to look at, what your life will be after that, but hopefully it can fix something. You can at least not pass out all the time. So in the meantime, I'm on different blood pressure medicine to help raise my blood pressure. And I'm on a couple different other heart medicines. And this is from a person who does not like to take medicine. I'm supposed to be healthy. I tell my kids how to be healthy, right? So this is just a whole new thing for me. Well, I remember Alicia, she told me at a retreat about this light therapy and this, she called it the miracle patch. And I was a little skeptical back in 2022, but I'm like, I don't know. So I tried her samples, but I still wasn't sure. So when all this was going on, I met up with her again at another retreat in October. And she was like, Amy, and I was watching her like do all this stuff with everyone else. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try. So I invested. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm all in. I was already kind of dabbling back in March, but by October, I'm like, I'm full in because at this point, I'm getting surgery. So why not? So I patched every day with X39 and 49. And, I can't really tell if my heart's feeling better. I didn't have this wow, aha moment, but I'm like, something has to happen, right? So I went to my appointment, my follow-up in January to get ready to tell me how February surgery was going to go. I get there. They looked at my new scans that I also had to take off work to keep getting all this medical procedures done. And they're like, Amy, I don't know what's going on. And they're like, I know you pray. I know your faith is big, but the right side of your heart that was enlarged, it's not anymore. The valves, the weird things that were happening in the left lower chamber, gone. Everything is perfect. How God made me. So I was like, what in the world is happening? I was like, all I did was pray and patch. Okay. So then I keep patching because you don't want to go backwards, right? And I'm like, I'm early 40s. I have to keep going. I have all this energy and things to give to people. So in the meantime, my energy is getting better. I'm no longer on my blood pressure medicine. My blood pressure is able to stay stable. I'm only on one pill right now, and that's for my circulation, but I'm praying that through more patching, that's going to be the next thing, because I want the patch to heal certain things, but it knows when it's ready to heal that. So I'm just waiting for that one. And on top of that, I've been getting so many compliments about my skin. I'm very humble, but I'm like, hey, maybe that's the patch too. So I'm still patching. I'm going to keep patching, but I am so happy that I no longer have to live afraid that I'm going to pass out and not be here for my children. And I think what's glorious is that I was looking at a life of nonstop doctor's appointments, and I don't have to go back. I went to my last one in December, and he's like, I'll see you in a year. So I don't have to keep taking off work. That's amazing. And one last thing with the patch is that in general, I always have a lot of energy, but my faith-based community of women who work out with me, I think sometimes they want me to stop patching because I'm an extra level. So I'm just saying, if you're on the fence, I try it.
Wow, Amy, that is life-changing in so many ways for you and for your family. So they want to know, what patches again were you using? You said 3949?
Yes.
Anything else?
Not at that time. I mean, since then I use more, but that's all I used.
That's all you used was 3949. And you know what's interesting? We do have a clinical study that's done for 2 months using 3949, and it shows a reduction in blood pressure. Okay, because most people have high blood pressure. And so it shows that their blood pressure comes into a normal range. And I remember when I first found out about this technology, and I had a conversation with David, and I had some concerns about things similar to that, blood pressure being too low, blood clotting factors being too low, if you've got patches that are supposed to reduce these things that normal people have high in. What happens if someone's too low? Will they bottom out? Well, you're the prime example of what this technology does is bring the body into balance. If you were too high, it will bring it lower into balance. If you were too low, it will bring it up into balance. Fantastic story. Thank you so much for sharing your testimonial. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. All right, let me see if I can get myself back up here on the pen. There we go. Okay, wow. Are you guys blown away by that? So we have just a couple minutes for questions. I did write a few of them down in regards to this technology. So people want to know if you can wear multiple patches at the same time. Absolutely, you can. You just heard Amy say that, right? You heard Sherry talk about Eli knowing what patches he gets up and he puts on himself now. So he puts on multiple patches on different days, every day, but different ones. Maybe she may be rotating some. So you can definitely put on multiple patches. I'll tell you this, when I met David for the first time at the first event I ever saw him at, he had 13 patches on. We still don't have 13 patches today. So I thought, well, that guy didn't fall over dead. We should be fine to put on 5 or 6 of them, right? But in all honesty, you guys, it's always best to start slow. If you're going to pick one patch and one patch only, you're going to pick the X39. But I'll be honest with you, and we don't have time for this tonight, but the Eon is the second patch that we always start with, the dynamic duo, because this is going to reduce inflammation, and we know inflammation is a consumer of stem cells. And it's also going to regulate your nervous system. So those are our first 2 picks, followed right behind with the X49 for most all people, because those are our top 3 selling patches. And of course, we don't have time to get into them, but the person that invited you can definitely send you the product summary sheet so you can hear a little blurb, see a little blurb about each patch. I love all of them. I put on 6 on day 1. And then I took them off and I stuck another one on at bedtime. And so over the years, I've used every single patch with the exception of silent nights because I've never had issues sleeping. So that's the only one I've never tried, but I've definitely put on the other 9 patches that we have and wear most of them every single day and or night. The last question I want to answer is it okay to wear the patch if you're swimming, if you're in the sauna, if you're in the sun, if you're in heat? Absolutely, yes, it is. It's perfectly fine. The technology was created with the energy enhancer patch for the Navy SEALs 23 years ago. SEALs swimming in the water. After that, it went to Stanford University. David took it there to the USA Olympic swim team, the female gold medalist athletes swimming in the water. So perfectly fine if you get it, unless you're not sitting in the sauna all day long. And some of us even go to the beach down here in Florida and we're in the ocean all day long and our patches still stick on. So know that you can wear it. It doesn't have to be seen, but you can wear it anywhere you want. Just leave it on 12 hours, then take it off and throw it away. If you happen to be too sweaty for some reason, like some of us are down here in this summertime, you can always put it inside of your socks or inside of a sports bra, something like that, or inside of maybe the inside of your band on your underwear, boxers, whatever, men. So now it's time for our drawing. So I am so fired up to share with you that we have 121 guests that have filled out our jot form and did that in enough time for me to be able to get it before our broadcast here tonight and be able to be entered in the drawing. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you have to be present to win, which of course we are definitely keeping track of the people that are in here. But here's how I want to do this because we only have about 2 minutes to do it. And it's not going to be that big of a deal anyway. So I already have your name. I have your address. So if you are the winner, you've already picked out which supportive patch you want. I'm going to give away 15 sleeves of supportive patches, 15 to 15 different people. So 15 of you, I've got Laura and Leah with pen in hand, ready to go, writing down the names, double checking to make sure the people are actually here on the Zoom. They are my co-hosts, so they can see the list of who's actually in the Zoom room. And so they're going to be monitoring that to say, yes, the people are here. No, they are not here. All right, so here we go. All right, first winner tonight for whatever supportive patch you picked. I don't have that PDF pulled up right now, but I will tell you it's right here. So you guys can see that all the names are actually here. And more entered in, even though they didn't make it in time. We had 121 that were here before I actually started the Zoom. So go back to our wheel. Who's our winner? Oh, Louisa Mock, you are the winner of your free supportive patch of choice. And let's see number 2. Who is number 2? Out of this long list here, they were in alphabetical order, and then I added some right at the very last second, which is what you can see down here. Those that got in on time. All right, Kayla, congratulations, Kayla. So if you look over here on this side, you'll see the extras that came in right at the 8:05 mark. All right, Dana Dumick, congratulations, Dana. Let's see who our number 4 is. Who is it going to be? Tanya. Congratulations, Tanya. Can't wait to see what you think of your new supportive patch. Congratulations. That was number 4. Number 5. My girls are keeping track for me anyways, but I think I'm counting correctly. Brandy Reed. Congratulations, Brandy. Number 6. This thing is a serious wheel spinner. Number 6. Is it going to be Ralph? Ralph? Yeah. Congratulations. Congratulations, Ralph. Number 7. Oh, look, it keeps track for me up there in the results tab. I didn't even know that was on there. Number 7, Tanya Rice. Congratulations, Tanya. That was so cool. Do you see where it says entries and then it has results up there at the top right? Do you guys see that up here on my screen? Had no idea. Look, I'm doing the finger thing counting. Cheryl. Congratulations, Cheryl Burt. Number 9 coming up. Who's our 9th winner? Latair Brinson. Congratulations on your supportive patch of your choice. Number 10. Who's lucky number 10? It's going to be Sherry or Sharon? Sherry! Sherry made it. Congratulations, Sherry. Isn't this thing fun? Anybody can go to Wheel of Names. Just do your own fun little Wheel of Names game. We've been using this baby for a long time, haven't we? Amy Villa. Congratulations, Amy. Number 12 coming up. 4 to go. Who's our winners? Ellie? Is it Ellie? Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Ellie. 3 to go. Susan. Which Susan is it? Dean. Susan Dean. Woo! Don't you love how it like, woo! Yay! All right. We have Zena getting to the bottom of the alphabet. All right, 1 to go. Who is our last winner of their free supportive patch of their choice? Danielle. Congratulations, Danielle. All right. Wow. Well, thank you all for being here this evening. Thank you again to Sherry for sharing Eli's story and for Amy. We appreciate you ladies taking the time to be here tonight. This is recorded, so we will get that recording out for you guys. Please be advised that this is not to be shared on social media. So if you have someone you want to share this with, please share this privately through private text or private email messages, so that way we can make sure we are staying within that compliance. So sharing our information, being able to help you guys learn about the technology in a compliant way, sharing it privately. You don't want to put this stuff on Facebook anyways. It's really more important that you have these private conversations with people that you know and love. So get back with the person that invited you. They're going to give you more information about the technology, the things that I mentioned here tonight. And of course, your supportive patches will be going out in the mail for the 15 of you that won a free supportive patch tonight. The person that invited you here can talk to you about how you're able to get our X39 in your own wholesale pack, shipped direct to your door. So it makes it there by the time you get whatever supportive patch you picked for free. So thank you all. Have a fantastic evening, and I look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday, same time, same place. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to my beautiful co-host. Have a great evening, everyone.